Yes, as you can probably tell, I do now have Marshall on cider. Yeah, I got him from a treasure island. We don't gotta talk about it, but I got Marshall and I got Poppy, and today we're working on a villager neighborhood for my two favorite squirrels in Animal Crossing. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new. My name's Dalia, and today we're back on my cozy autumn town cider, working on a new build. So excited for this one. As I've said, it is my two favorite villagers in the entire game, or two of my favorite villagers, and that is what we're working on today. I hope that you guys enjoy. Let me show you where we're working. We're doing this area, then we're doing this area all the way over here in another build, but we have to like connect the spaces. We got a lot of space to cover. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're new here, and become a channel member if you would like to support the channel further. Link to the that is available in the description of the video. But yeah, we're gonna get started. Not much terraforming to do for this video. It is primarily just a lot of pathing, and I'm not gonna lie, this video did take me a couple of days to make and put together, simply because I had to change my pathing a bunch of times because I wasn't really happy with the way that it looked, and by that I mean I changed it like 6 or 7 times. So I also moved Marshall's house like twice, but you know, that's just the fun of playing Animal Crossing. Anyways, we're doing my favorite thing in the entire game, and that is making a parking lot. You guys know me. When I don't know what to place in a random spot, I put a parking lot. My two shops are right here. I felt like a parking lot kind of made sense, and because this is a second tier cliff, it is weird to try to make a roads start from nowhere, so it's starting within a parking lot. It works. It's a nice transition space. And then we're going to be doing a nice little, not cul-de-sac build. I was debating doing a cul-de-sac, but I've already done one on this island, and I wanted Poppy to have her own section because I wanted to give Poppy her own bakery, kind of like along the street. So that is the main idea that kind of sparked this build, that made me want to get Marshall and Poppy on this island as quickly as possible. I'm also trying to finish this island in the next week or so. I have quite a bit to still work on, so let's see if that happens. But this did take up a huge chunk of the island, which I'm very happy with, and hopefully it will spark the motivation to finish. But here I am working on the road. This one section that I'm working on right now, I do change a little bit, but the general overall layout that you see here is kind of what I'm left with, I guess you could say, by the end of this video. It changes a bit. It changes just a little bit. But there's Marshall, you know, keeping me company as we're working on the build, which I always appreciate. Like his house isn't even around here yet, and he was keeping me company. Like he knew that this was a special place for him, so I'm very, very happy about that. That wonderful girl, could she be any cuter? So I'm just finishing up the road code. I didn't make this part of the video too long, but I once again wanted to show you guys the process. You guys seem to appreciate when I show you like kind of how I put together my road codes. And if you're interested in any of the codes I use on this island, link to everything is in the description as always. But yeah, I'm just gonna finish that up, and then we're going to move Poppy's home first, and then Marshall's. Poppy's home, I already had an idea of where I wanted to put it. So I'm customizing both their houses. I kept their houses extremely similar to one another. Just did like a variation of each one by giving Poppy more of a brownish red door, and then I did the exact same thing for Marshall, but I gave him a white door. That's literally the only difference in their two houses, because Marshall is a white squirrel and Poppy is a red squirrel. Literally the only difference between the two homes, but it works. It works. It looks like they're like a part of the same neighborhood, but a little bit different. Just a little bit. So here's me kind of messing and fooling around with this street pathing. And this is where it kind of all started to fall apart, because I tried to be creative with it, but I tried to put Marshall's house back here, and like I looked at it after I'd placed it. It was too far back. Way too far back. So stupid me now has to move his house again and scrap all the terraforming and path placement that I just did. So go me.
Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody has those days.
I'm very excited for that. But anyway, it's okay. We'll move it in a minute. But one thing, like I said, I wanted to give Poppy her own little cute bakery. Because I've done a coffee shop. I've done an apple pie stand. I've done a few other kind of builds like this, but nothing suits Poppy, in my opinion, more than a adorable little bakery. And I wanted to do an outdoor kind of bakery because all of my fake buildings have been small sections and areas. Here's me moving Marshall's house, by the way, but I kept going back and forth to make sure that their houses were lined up. So after debating for way too long, I decided, yes, it's actually, they're parallel to one another. But I wanted, like I said, sorry, getting off topic, to give Poppy her own outdoor kind of bakery, because I've been doing a lot of fake buildings with shops that have been interior builds that you can't see. So for this particular build, I wanted to give it more of an outdoor feel. So I use the wide, I don't know what they call it, the wide window display something you're gonna see in a little while. I can't remember what it's called. To act like a window for her little shop. And then I have some baked goods, because my favorite items to use in this game, even though I haven't talked about this in a while, are the foods, because they're so cute. So I am sectioning off the area using a lot of plant partitions and wooden partitions in today's video, along with the fences, especially like the fence item. But what I do is give her like kind of like a display window that kind of showcases that she has a bakery. And then I'm going to put a bunch of tables and chairs along the street to act like the sitting area for the bakery. If that makes any sense, if you can see my vision. Although this is an outdoor bakery, kind of, compared to my other fake buildings, I do have to make the illusion of a building, so I'm using the medieval building sides again. I start with the covered counter and then the food on top, but I end up putting that wide, I can't remember the word, I can't remember the name of it. I'll put a picture of it. This item. I use this item that I used in a previous video to make look like shop windows. And then I use the iron garden chair. Can we talk about the fact that the only cut cake in game is the carrot cake? Why don't we have a cut apple pie or a cut pumpkin pie? Like we have like the tarts for the apple peach, blah, 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 blah. Why don't we have a cut apple pie?
So I am confusion. America, explain.
I just realized that as I was working on this build, because if I wanted to make like an apple pie stand, I wouldn't have like a cut piece of apple pie to use on like a table. This bugs me. There's little things about Animal Crossing every day that I discovered that bug me. Okay, anyways, I moved on now to working on this transition space. I didn't know what I was actually going to do to this area right beside my incline. I was debating making a basketball court, but it was really weirdly placed. So this ends up being like a sitting area with some fake buildings. But I really wanted to use the fences to kind of section off the space, because obviously this part is a parking lot. And I didn't want it to seem as if it's just like this random piece of concrete. So I made it so that it's kind of like dividing up this, like the suburb areas. if that makes any sense. And now I'm working on the street. Like I said, I changed my streets so many times. I think this is what I end up with at the end, if I'm remembering correctly. And then I put my crosswalk signal design on the street that I finally downloaded. And this is when I realized I missed one of the crosswalk signal things, and then I had to go and get it. So as you can see, time has passed since I went and downloaded it because it's now a lot sunnier outside. This build took me several days, and I did a lot of time traveling too to like get items and do stuff, obviously, and move furniture. But it's hilarious to me as I'm editing this back to see how the time looks like it's changed on my island, because I like to decorate in the morning so the sun moves across the build much more prominently than if it does if you work like during the day, in my opinion. But yeah, that's a random little thing I've noticed. But also, can we talk about how cute Poppy looks walking through my builds? Like, I had Poppy and Marshall hanging out with me like half of this build, and it made my heart so happy to have them back. You guys know they're my favorites, and I haven't had them on my islands in a bit, so it was so happy to have them back again. And I love having them both together on my island. And I'm getting off topic, but anyway, I'm working on this little build section. Like I said, this is like kind of really nice like residential transition spot, and I really just made everything symmetrical. I do remember the word symmetrical this time, if you guys saw my previous video where I couldn't remember what that word was. But I kept it exactly symmetrical, just putting the same items on both sides. I'm not the biggest fan of symmetry, but for city or town islands, it works sometimes. And then this area here is a very big section of space. I didn't know what I was gonna do here.
Turn around, bite eyes. Every now and then I fall apart. And I need you now tonight. And I need you more than ever.
I honestly debated putting another villager's home. I wanted this to be a section for Marshall and Poppy only, so I'm making another fake building. Surprise, surprise. I always try to make my fake buildings look a little bit different to one another. So for this one, I did the castle walls on the ends and then the medieval building sides in the middle. And honestly, it ties in my spaces to each other, because I have a lot of medieval building sides on my main level. So by incorporating them into these sections too, it's making the island look more cohesive. And honestly, it's just a great way to fill in space. Great way. And also, can I just mention, I think this is the first time I use the retro transportation stop as an actual bus stop. That does look like a bus stop, I hope. I don't know, I hope it does. And then I'm doing this small little road in front of Marshall's house, just like a two-tile kind of street, because my carnival area, or whatever you want to call it, is beside here. So I have to like figure out how I'm transitioning these spaces. So I felt like this small road would kind of give me motivation to like figure out how to do that in the next video. We're gonna see. But I'm coming towards the end of the build. I'm kind of just filling in the spaces and just really finishing off the street. The thing with town islands that I've said before in previous islands where I've done similar themes is that when it comes to decorating like for towns, you can only fill up the space so much when you're not doing like a trash island or something more natural or abandoned or more cluttered, because this is meant to be a very residential, cutesy, clean town. I have to be very particular about the items that I use and not to make the space look too overwhelmed with items. But if you know me, you know that I have a problem not filling in every single space on my Animal Crossing island. So I'm trying to be good, but at the same time, I'm always looking for that extra furniture item to put on that one space. If you know, if you understand, like put like a thumbs up emoji in the comments if you understand my struggle.
The girls that get it, and the girls that don't.
But I'm trying to be good. I'm really, really trying.
How do you get anything done?
It's hard.
And I also think doing another abandoned island at the same time where I can be a little bit more cluttered with my decorating has probably definitely helped. Because otherwise I think I'd be struggling with this theme just a little bit more. Even though it's easy to do a theme like this, it's just like the urge, you know, to decorate every single slot is very challenging. But anyway, I've just been decorating and kind of filling in this space, like I said, really just making it look like a lived-in neighborhood. It's really cute. I'm actually extremely happy with the way that this turned out. I think it's adorable, and it's exactly what I had in mind when I was envisioning doing like a little bakery build for Poppy. And yeah, after this, we're gonna go quickly time travel to early morning. I'm still debating whether or not to set my dream address to that early morning. Like I said, the wide display stand, that's the furniture item, because it looks like a fake, like it looks like a window shop thing, and this adds a dimension now. It looks really good, right? It looks good. But anyways, I'm still debating whether or not to set my dream address to early morning with a foggy morning for this island. Still debating it, still up in the air about that, but I think it could be cute, but I'm still like not 100% decided. But for all of my like last minute walkthroughs, we have been doing the early morning with the fog. But anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me as we've been decorating. I am so happy with the way that this build turned out, and I hope that you enjoyed it as well. If you did, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I hope you guys enjoy the final walkthrough, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye guys!